The river Ganges, one of the greatest rivers in the world, but not because of her size, for there are many longer and wider. Her fame lies in the meaning that she embodies for the Hindu, and the love and the prayer that is bestowed upon her daily. There is not a more worshipped river. To set eyes on her majestic form is considered a great blessing. To take bath in her is said to cleanse away all sins, and to make pilgrimage up to her source is a lifelong dream of many Hindus. Swami Sivananda recognized the value of pilgrimage, or yatra as it is known in Sanskrit. He said, "Going on a pilgrimage prepares the mind to be in a highly receptive mood, in a highly prayerful mood. You abandon the cumbersome apparel of social life when you leave your town or city. You live in a completely spiritual world. This is the mental condition that is most conducive to the greatest reception of the spiritual vibrations that surround you on all sides. The pilgrim that goes as a pilgrim is conscious that he is engaged upon a sacred mission of gathering spiritual impressions, and will therefore gain the greatest blessing by a pilgrimage." In 1992, Swami Vishnu-Devananda, despite his critical physical condition, undertook what is known as a Ganga Parikrama, a pilgrimage that follows the Ganga from her source at Gomukh, high up in Himalaya, all the way down to her mouth over 1,500 kilometers away at the Bay of Bengal. The pilgrimage began in Delhi, where Swamiji was received by Uma Sharma. Some close disciples had also gathered to make this journey with him. The pilgrimage gave each of them a wonderful opportunity to express their devotion for their Guru, as they selflessly saw to his needs night and day. Swami Kartikeyananda, Swamiji's personal secretary and nurse, was familiar with his daily medical requirements, which included dialysis. Between Delhi and the source of the Ganga there are many holy sites and temples to be visited. The first stop was the Swami Sharanam Ayappa temple in Delhi. This temple is affiliated to the main Ayappa temple at Shabarimalai in Swamiji's home state. Rishikesh is situated on the bank of the Ganga and is en route to Gomukh. It is Swamiji's spiritual home. It was here that he lived for many years under the guidance and training of his teacher Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda is a great modern saint and spiritual force. Through his writings he has encouraged and guided thousands of people worldwide to undertake the journey within. Seen here with his disciples practicing Surya Namaskar. Many of these young men were to play a substantial part in bringing the teachings of yoga and Vedanta to the West. Swamiji was a picture of perfect health as a young man. He had a strong and agile body. In later years, when he was confined to a wheelchair, he would often use his body as an example of the truth that all things are temporary. Change is unavoidable. He was constantly encouraging people not to attach any importance to this changing phenomena. This, he taught, was a key to peace of mind. He was living proof of this teaching, for he endured great physical pain with not a trace of complaint. He observed suffering with powerful detachment. The journey would also test the strength of detachment of the other pilgrims on the yatra, as they faced many challenges. In Rishikesh, Swamiji and pilgrims went to the Vishwanath Mandir for puja. Swamiji circumambulated Master's shrine. It was the first time he had walked since his car accident. Many people came to pay their respects, and some remember taking his yoga classes when he was a young Swami teaching in the Ashram. At Master's kutir, the group meditated in Sivananda's meditation room, performed arati, and looked through the book in which Master would write. Just outside, the Ganga flows. Some boats of Lakita Japa were offered to the Ganges with prayer of peace, and then Ganga Arati. Finally, Swamiji paid his respects to Swami Krishnananda, the General Secretary of the ashram. The journey up to Utakashi is a breathtaking one. The steep valley is lined with cedar and pine forests. Dotted about are small hill settlements with amazing tribespeople who seem to carry out their challenging daily work so joyfully. The Ganga flows hundreds of feet below, through mountain gorges. Her bluey-green colour is enchanting. Away in the distance, the white peaks of the Himalaya dance with the changing landscape. In Utakashi, a visit was made to Swami Chaitanyananda's beautiful ashram. Swamiji was warmly received, and the great love between the two Gurubhais was moving. From his stretcher in the van, Swamiji said to Swami Chaitanyananda, "You're so healthy. I want to prostrate before you, but I cannot. I salute you." 8 kilometers away from Utakashi is the ashram at Netla, left to Swamiji by Swami Akhandananda. It sits on the edge of the Ganga, and the sound of her descent is constant. It is here that Swamiji's body was given to the Ganga after his soul departed from it. Gangotri is the last village before the climb on foot up to Gomukh. It is here that Swamiji spent many months in seclusion living in this cave. It is now continuously occupied and maintained by a representative of the Sivananda organization. A small Shiva temple has been constructed, and around the central well are deities for the 9 planets. Gangotri is a very special place. Many advanced souls have come here to meditate and practice intense sadhana. The beauty of the Ganga and the mountains is inspiring, and there is an atmosphere of peace and tranquility permeating everything. To be here, to meditate here, is a great blessing. The trip up to Gomukh is arduous, Swamiji being carried by 4 Sherpas and the rest travelling on foot. The first few miles of the path is lined with birch trees and rose hips. Tulsi, the holy mountain basil, grows everywhere. The vegetation slowly dwindles away as you move above the tree line, and the path becomes steep and rocky. It is often very narrow. Your steps frequently send small stones falling far below. Snow-covered mountains lay ahead. Ganga flows pristine and clear. As you get higher, the altitude also takes its toll. Those unused to it can find themselves light-headed, with a pounding heart and short of breath. However, there is always a chai shop when you need one, and a warm drink, food and rest is welcomed by everyone. The stark scenery is beautiful in an almost otherworldly way. Being so high up in the rooftop of the world lifts the spirits, and it is hard not to think that you are closer to the gods. After a day's walking, a night is spent at Bojabas, the tourist lodge, and then an early start is made in the morning to make the final ascent to Gomukh. On the way, frozen pools cause amazement for those of the party from South India, and respects were paid to a Shaivite sadhu who lives amongst the rocks, thinly clad and oblivious to the cold. Finally, Gomukh is in sight, a glacier with a cave of ice, out of which the Ganga flows. The group paused to take it all in, and Swamiji, with tears streaming down his face, said, "We are very lucky." It is tradition to take bath here, and to drink this pure water, which to a Hindu is considered to be the nectar of immortality, and represents the source of all life in abundance. Swamiji had with great effort and grace made it to this holy site. He had experienced quite a lot of pain on the way up, but now he sat in complete absorption while mantras were chanted and the Ganga gushed with the endless sound of creation. It is here that she is known as the goddess Bhagirathi, and is seen as the Divine Mother in her young and impetuous form, youthful, unpredictable, and full of energy and life. The descent down is easier. Everyone left with high spirits. The trip had been testing, but ultimately joyful. The group arrived back at the cave by early evening. following morning, the Ganga Parikrama continued, moving back through Gangotri and Uttakashi, where a day's rest was had, then passing once again through Rishikesh and on to Haridwar. Haridwar means the gates of God, and refers both to the Ganga leaping from the hills onto the plains and to the liberation of the soul when the body is burned. It is here that the Ganga passes through a gorge and starts its slow progression across the plains to the Bay of Bengal. The following days were spent travelling through the poorest state of India and on some of the worst roads, passing through Farrukhabad and Kanpur and arriving in Allahabad. Swamiji was not well, and some days' rest was taken before proceeding. Swami Durgananda had joined the group, bringing with her Swami Ramananda's ashes. Swami Ramananda was a close disciple of Swamiji's and was responsible for setting up all the European centres. After Swamiji had got back his strength, a boat journey was planned. A priest known as Gopal VIP had joined the party. He was to perform the funeral rites of Swami Ramananda. They headed towards the Sangam, the confluence of the Ganga and the Yamuna rivers. At this confluence, the Ganga is about 2 kilometres wide. It is the scene of the Kumbh Mela every 12 years. On reaching the Sangam, people took bath in the waters of the Ganga, and Gopal VIP began puja and then proceeded with the funeral rites. Swamiji blessed the ashes of Swami Ramananda before they were offered to the Ganga by Swami Durgananda. The pilgrims moved on, heading for Varanasi, or Benares as it is now known, one of the most important pilgrimage sites in India. It has been a great centre of learning and civilization for thousands of years. Another boat was boarded for a peaceful ride downstream past the famous burning ghats. Here the Ganga takes a northward bend, which means the pilgrims can perform their worship to a rising sun. In Varanasi you feel the presence of the Ganga as a wise woman. She has by this time experienced many things. She is wider and slower and steadier, and her waters contain flowers and rice from all the worship she has received, as well as the bodies of the dead. After 2 more days of travelling, the pilgrims landed in Dhanbad. They then moved on to Calcutta and boarded yet another boat at Diamond Harbour. The steamer took them to Sagar Island. The energy was high as all anticipated the completion of this magnificent journey. On arriving at the island, they headed for the mouth of the Hooghly, considered to be the point where the Ganga joins the sea. Swamiji was wheeled to the edge of the water, where his feet were bathed. A beautiful crescent moon marked the end of the yatra. After the sun had set, the group left, leaving the merging waters of the Ganga. The Sivananda Yoga-Vidya Centre holds annual yatras. In October 1997, Swami Vishnu-Devananda will be hosting a Ganga Parikrama which will last 4 weeks, retracing their teacher's steps. For more information, please contact your local Sivananda centre. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Om Jai Gange Mata Shri